We get high and high, crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at, we get high, high, crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at. We get high, high, crazy blue.
You know like when you're down,
Elmo's fire, love so sharp.
You come from the bottom,
flat,
you at your lowest.
It's hard to know just
There's only one thing left to do.
We get high.
Stimulate your mind, girl. It's Friday, you ain't got shit to do. I put you on to some real shit. If you ain't scared to take a hit or two, stay away from that Reggie. Can't deal with them middlemen. Who gives a fuck if he keep them clean? You can't ride on them little tins. They say they got it, they ain't got it. They don't seem to feel no guilt. Got peanut butter but no jelly. Got cereal but no milk. Where I'm from, that's a half-ass nigga. Half of the time, old half-ass nigga. Mad cause they can't get down with the teens. Still sitting at the end of the draft-ass nigga. Getting high on these low lives. Dead to chumps, give them no life. Cut them loose, keep your knife. Don't meet a hoe and make her your wife. Don't make a hoe your husband either. Harder win the game when you're playing with a cheater. I be telling them that you can't change niggas. Better off keeping that change for the meter.
Crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at. We get high, high, crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at. We get high.
How high? Just came from the OG, man. My eyes so red, man. That METHOD, man. I'm talking about pimpin', been since been pimpin', I'm talking about no near another motherfucker, say that near another, Tell him no more, Mr. Nice Guy. You hoes way past half-baked. If I got paid to hear chicks lie, would've made more cheese than Kraft make. And these niggas be acting up. Riri must be serious. Wonder what the shit hitting for. Real niggas is curious. These niggas stuck on my old joint. Already know how to high feel. Let a chick know she is not low, even though she in high heels. 600 for the gas. That ain't nothing but a high bill. Bitch, don't be a high kill. You know over here
we get high, high, crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at. We get high, high, crazy blue, like St. Elmo's fire, love so sharp and flat that it's hard to know just where you're at. We get high.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
I turned my dark secrets into bright ideas. I used to cry for help, I learned to wipe my tears. I was scared to embrace, but now I fight my fears. These hoes say I'm too much, it's only right I share. Pressure makes diamonds, I was made to shine. When life gave me lemons, I made lemonade with mine. What's beef? Beef is when you make mistakes. Like less burgers with your buddies and more steaks with snakes. My story just gets better when you get to the end. So when I'm at my worst, I know it's not the end. I came from the dirt, made the cut in blue. So when you put me in that right light, what I do?
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
I'm shining religiously. Jesus pieces and crosses. I pay for all of my toys. I don't owe any Santa Clauses. I never finished school or completed no college courses. Was taught to be a winner, but I learned more from my losses. Losses like when you go, is your friends gonna miss you? Was it cause you beneficial or you beneficial? Condo at the top, 1 floor down from heaven, yo. Hating is beneath me. I say that's the devil, yo. I'm trying to keep the faith, hanging there with hope. Until my jeweler brought myself 2 angels on the ropes. I came from the dirt, made the cut in blue. So when you put me in that right light, what I do?
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Could say I always was the truth, but that be lying a little. You can't spell believe without a lie in the middle. I always say it first, niggas trying to ditto, but I got bigger shit to do than to try and be little. Mind of a general, heart of a soldier. That just mean I call the shots, but ain't afraid to take the shots. Niggas gave it all they got, still couldn't take my spot. Don't get your shorty got and have to live out Taken's plot. I ain't give a fuck, now I would give whatever. You only live once, but legacies live forever. I came from the dirt, made the cut in blue. So when you put me in that right light, what I do?
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah. I made some changes in my life, don't regret none of them. So if you ain't heard from me, then you probably one of them. Niggas want different results.
Man, I've been fucking muted this entire time. That's crazy. Yeah, bro, I got you. I read it. That's Bitcoin's the last pair. I'm just going in order for the first time. That's my bad. Yeah, I was muted. I didn't even notice. That's crazy. Damn, bro. I was explaining all that shit fucking muted, bro. That's crazy. Giving some fucking dropping gems too. Whatever. Um, Repeat what I was saying for US 30. So US 30 right now is in a weird, it's in a unique spot. I'm not gonna say weird. We'll use the word unique. Reason being is because at one point, right, when we were looking at the overall structure, right, at one point we were like, okay, we have higher high, higher high, lower low, which was a change of character, lower high, lower low, which was the BOS, right? And then obviously, once we saw that, okay, we have turned around and we started the downtrend, once we reached our first zone of consolidation, which was this zone from up here to down here, price started trending up again, right? So understanding how indexes move and how they're being manipulated, I could really only see this being as, you know, what we've explained in the Sunday classes and what we've explained in the daily breakdowns is right now, could we be expecting price to just continue to go up and we're just trading between the pretty much the zones that we're in, right? So what I mean by that is in the daily zone, for example, we know that we're trading between this low and the high that's being made, right? We know that we have 2 months of rise. We know that this month, right, we already got a new high being made. So can price now turn around and start the downtrend? Yes. But we also got to take into consideration, again, we do have 2 months of rise, right? And understanding that right now, can price just continue to trend up to just make another new high to then go down? Absolutely. And we're still in the beginning of the month, so we still have fucking 3 weeks left to really understand and break down what's gonna happen. So going into the weeks, right? 3 weeks of rise. We already knew last week was gonna give us a drop around no net. It gave us a drop. Now this week, price went right back up to the high of the 4 hour zone, right? It missed it by a few pips, right? If we zoom in, it missed it by a few pips and then started turning around. So just understanding that it missed it, if we're looking at 30-minute structure, we have lower low, lower high, would be considered a lower low, lower high, which would then consider this a lower low, and higher high. So this would be a change of character. Could this be the move to sweep traders out, and then this is going to be the real move of the day? It could be, right? So now let's talk about what structure could happen here. So if we're looking for price to go up, right, I'm going to mark everything on this chart because US 30 is going to be US 30 is very technical. You want to make sure that if you're trading US 30 or any pair that has a lot of volume and is very expensive to trade, you want to make sure you have multiple confluences, right? Because if you have different strategies and all of those strategies are telling you like, hey, price is gonna start turning around or it's gonna move to a certain direction, if you have more than one rule set giving you the same results, then you already know where price is gonna go to, right? So the first thing I'm gonna mark is the fair value gap, right, which is down here. I'm gonna change this to green, put a dash line. So we know that this is the fair value gap, the bottom of the fair value gap. Perfect. What else do we see? Do we have any engulfing candles? No. Okay. What type of patterns could we be looking for? At this point, we're looking for either a type 1 pattern, a type 2, or a type 3, right? Type 1 is going to be consolidation, right? If we're looking for an uptrend, because we already see that we have a FVG down here, right? What do we also have? The 200 EMA. There's a whole bunch of confluences. Right, so we could either expect price to do a type 1 pattern, which is going to be the breakout, right? It's going to come down, give us this double bottom, push 1, push 2, push 3 to continue to go, right? It could be a simple type 2 pattern, right? Which would just be literally consolidation, price breaks out, and then continues to go and just go down, right? Which we could see. Why would we think that's gonna happen? Because it already pretty much has the personality of that already, right? Which is just a consolidation, the breakout, no retest of the breakout. It just continues to go, and then it's gonna make a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Or the type 3 pattern, which obviously wouldn't be in effect at this point, which would be the 50-50 trade. Price consolidates, breaks out, comes back up to the 50% to then continue to go down. Right? So with that being said, right now the only two that would make sense, right, would be either the type 2 or the type 1. And right now it's just a waiting game, right? We'd have to wait for NYC session to start, and then when the volume comes in with US 30, we'll know what's gonna happen. So at this point, we have no continuation in the 30-minute time frame. We're just basing this off a structure, right? The fact that we have a change of character, the fact that we see that we're getting a some type of type 1 or type 2 pattern. We just gotta give it a few more, probably another 2 hours or so, for us to really see what's gonna happen. Let me go to the daily time frame real quick. Do you have any engulfing candles here? No. 4-hour engulfings? No. 1 hour? Right, we have a 1 hour red, red, green here. Right, so could price come down? It could. Okay. USD CAD. USD CAD 51 is STP. We have a 4-hour engulfing candle up here. We've done 20, 30 pips. Same thing as Euro USD, I believe. Right, we're in the middle of a 30-minute zone. Give me 1 second, guys. USD CAD. Look at the 4-hour candle. It's red. We'll come back to USD CAD. Gold did 106 pips out of 152. We're still trading between this break with this high and this low. Last red candle started pushing away. Push 1, push 2. You can see this going to continue that push to the top side. We have an engulfing candle somewhere here. We don't have an engulfing candle to go up, but we do have an engulfing candle, green, green, red, to continue that push. We'll see how price reacts up here. 16 cents on BTC with a $5 account. Nerves so bad I'm shaking. That's crazy out here. Of 30 bucks, that's fire. So gold, we'll see how it reacts when it goes back up, and BTC. Right, so let's see. So here's what I like about that position. What I like about that short position is that if it does give a steep pullback, right, you'd be in the right spot, right? Because we're just still trading within higher high, higher low, right? Last week we tapped into our golden zone, right? We tapped into the golden zone, we tapped into our daily zone and started going away from it, right? Push one, higher high, higher low, it consolidated, right? It broke out of that, gave us a higher high, right? So you would have push one, this would be push two, right? So we'd be expecting a pullback, but now this is pretty much the same, kind of the same breakdown as US 30, right? In the sense that this is a much bigger pair, so I'm going to do this in a 30-minute time frame. Right, we can say we're in the zone of consolidation. Change this to yellow, put this as a regular line. And the 15, it'll look a little bit better structure-wise. We can see we're in the zone of consolidation, right? So let's base this off the fact if we were in a downtrend, right? If we were in a steep downtrend, I would have liked to already seen this push out. So the few things that we could be looking for. So let's start from the top. Let's go back to the 30-minute time frame. Right, we know what we're trading between what would be, I'm gonna say this push here, right? I'm gonna mark it from this low to this high, right? So again, understanding that we're in a complete uptrend, right? In a overall market makers pattern uptrend, I'm gonna be looking at probabilities and the possibilities, right, of price continuing that push to the top side, right? So understanding that we made push number one, we got the pullback, right? Push number two, what I'm looking at for push number two is, again, what confluences could we see, right? So the number one thing, right? The number one thing, and I know this is in the books of the shit you be looking at because you trade this, right? What is this? This is a flag post pattern, right? What's a flag post pattern and what's the traits of a flag post pattern, right? Is when price is consolidating after it does a crazy push like this, right? The same way it did this crazy push down, right? Is price staying and consolidating and respecting the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement? Is it doing that? Yes. Right, so already for me personally, right, the one thing I want to continue to look at now is, okay, is price respecting the 23.6? Is it respecting market structure, right? And at this point, is the low of the day being respected and tested as well? And all of those things are saying yes. So can price easily just consolidate here and then start pushing up? Absolutely. Right? What's another thing that could happen? Again, we'll go through it again, right? What's the next thing that could happen is we're looking at what type of pattern is being displayed. Is it a type 1, type 2, or type 3? Right? And again, for the sake of pushing in an uptrend, right, would be if we were looking for a type 1 pattern, right, it'd be the consolidation, the breakout, double bottom at the bottom, push 1, push 2, push 3. Right? If we were looking for this to continue to go up, this is one thing that could happen to 38.2 to continue to go. Or we could be looking for, or I don't think it'll give us a type 1 going to the top side. Do this, but just invert it. Right? The next thing would be the type 2 pattern, which again, in this case, let's talk about it if it was in an uptrend, right? If it was a type 2 in an uptrend, sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Type 2 would be the breakout, right? The consolidation, the breakout, the retest, right, to continue to go down, right, which would be something that we could see happening, could potentially be a thing, or the type 3 where it breaks out right? Comes back to 50% to then continue to push to the bottom side. Right? These are right now the things that I could potentially see happening on BTC. Check Discord for my entries. I got you. I'll check right now. You see, those are fire entries. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. So for Bitcoin, we'll keep this here, right? And we'll see what type of movement they want to give us to start this week out. So let's go back to, I'll keep Bitcoin on. Let's go back to gold, right? Gold, we said we want to see a potential for price to go back up here, right? Again, overall is pretty much the same as US 30, right? We're not really 100% sure on overall structure because of how price has been obviously manipulated these last couple months. So I'm looking at just the last leg, right? I'm looking at in the daily time frame, where are we, right? What type of movements are we doing? What type of, we could see how price, so let's talk about this, right? We had this daily high, this low, this high, right? So we had this low, this high, this low, this high, boom, change of character, push, top side. So we know that we're trading between pretty much this high, right, and these lows down here. So going down to the 4-hour, we know that we are looking for price to respected the highs, didn't break, so we still have these lows, same as the daily time frame. Okay, and we have this engulfing candle here, and we have an engulfing candle at the top side. So, and we have a 30-minute gap at the bottom of the trend as well. So change of character, BOS, made a new high. Push 1, push 2, push 3. Once it made a new high, it gave us the wick above and started going away from it. Once it started going away from it, it gave us an engulfing candle, and again went away from it and pushed down. So everything for me right now is saying, hey, look for price going down. When we're looking at our 30-minute zone, we had this high which broke and gave us this low, right? I'm not gonna count this little pullback here. I'm gonna say that this is one complete move, and we're trading between this low and this high, right? We got the change of character, right? The pullback. So then we're trading between this low, right? We have the BOS, right? And this is the pullback. So we know that we have push 1, right? We know that we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Could we be expecting a retest of this zone here to give a higher low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, a lower low here, right? To then, I drew this wrong. I don't know what I was trying to do. So then, look for price to go up again. Right? Could that be something that could happen? Looks like something that could happen. Right? So at this point, I'm just waiting to see what price wants to do. Right? We created a new high of the day, so we know that we are trading between pretty much this high right? And we know that we're trading between this low. For the sake of structure, I'm going to use this low. Right, could we use this one? Yes. But if we use this one price breaks here and goes here, yeah, we have clean traffic for 50 pips. So we could capitalize on that. USD CAD. What's good, Muhammad? Welcome to stream, my brother. I'm doing good, man. Doing the same. Can't complain though. Got a little bit of a headache, I'm not gonna lie, but it's all good. So now USD CAD, is that USD CAD? We want this shit to go up, right? We're at the bottom of our consolidation zone, right? Looking for safety trades. Can it go lower, absolutely, to the real bottom of it, yes. Right? Not only that, we have a month of drop, 2 months of drop this month, and yes, this is counter. So we would also not be surprised if obviously we don't get a new low, which is something that obviously I would say we want that because we don't want to be trading counter. But we'll be looking at structure, right? We still know that we're trading between this high and this low. Right now we are pretty much making a high of the day, and we are reaching this 4-hour engulfing candle. So not only that, this is where price has been consolidating, right? And right now price is reaching back to the top of this little 30-minute consolidating zone, and we are also right on the 800 EMA. So for me personally, it's not in the best spot to be looking for a trade, right? This is where a lot of traders just get trapped and just stuck in a position where they felt like, okay, I'll give you the example, right? We have clean traffic, red candles straight down here. So for a lot of traders, this is volume that has to be cleaned up, right? So we're at the high of the day, right? Wouldn't this, like, how exactly what price is doing now, wouldn't this make sense? For price to break, clean this traffic, go back up to our 30-minute zone, right? Because remember, this is a 4-hour engulfing zone as well. So then it's going to go up, sweep traders out to then start that downtrend push. Could be something, right? That's why I don't want to get too. Again, the month just started, the year just started, right? The last 3 weeks, market has been moving crazy, right? We know that the market needs to correct itself. There has to be some type of balance, and I think if we go on Forex Factory, there has to be a folder about that. Let's look. I haven't been on Forex Factory in a minute. I want to start from January 1st, right? This is gonna take a little bit. I just want to see if there's been a folder should be called like balance something balance. So there was an NFP on Thursday, January 4th, right? So we already know we started the year off with a non-farm folder, right? Back to back, right? And this happened last week. So understanding that we already had two back-to-back NFP folders, we already know there's going to be the market correction, right? So this is yesterday, January 8th. Did we have it yesterday that we probably missed? I don't even think I looked at this yesterday. No. Today, unemployment, German, trade balance. There you go. CAD and USD. Do we have anything else? Trade balance for CNY. So we'll see. It's a low impact folder. So we should, and there's a damn holiday next Monday. What's Monday? Word. So we already know. We already know the deal. Gonna watch gold, waiting for the break to the downside. Let's see gold, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm expecting too. And then EuroCAD. So again, this pretty much the same thing as yesterday, guys. Like a lot of these pairs, right? My mic was muted for the first fucking. I did all these pairs and we didn't realize my mic was muted till I got to US 30. So I pretty much did like 6 pairs. My mic was muted. So, but it was pretty much the same as yesterday, right? There's um a lot of these pairs just moving super early. STP being hit super early. EuroCAD is again one that we're looking for price to go up, but we know that we're in the middle of the zone, right? We're between the 4-hour high and the 4-hour low. So there's really no good position for us to get in here, right? Yesterday we were like, okay, if we could get this high, which we did, right? And we drew this out exactly how it was, right? If we could get this high, we could potentially see price go back down and retest off the 800 EMA, right? To give us push 1, push 2. This would be the retest for push number 3 to go back to the top of the 4-hour zone. But we can see that that's not in the cards for EuroCAD right now. So maybe, the only other low that I could see price going to is obviously this little zone here, which is again what we called out that could be happening, but it's just how it's gonna happen. So I thought yesterday we had two possibilities, right? We either had the possibility of price breaking above to continue the push to then go right back down, or we have the possibility of price respecting the 800 EMA and just coming back down to this gap, right? The wick that was created last week, and then this is where we're gonna see price push up. So right now we're just getting a variation of both of them. We're getting a variation of we pushed up, but now we're gonna go right back down to these lows, right? And that's what it looks like it's gonna do because we created Asia session highs and London session lows, right? And right now we're trading literally between the high and the low. So even for EuroCAD, even though STP hasn't been hit, we're just not in the best place to trade. So EuroCAD, I'm gonna turn it off. US 30, obviously I did do my breakdown on US 30, so but I'll do it again for the people that are joining now, right? US 30 is one that again already did the move, right? It started to move super early. It gave it to us during Asia session. Now it's just what can we assume is gonna happen next, right? So everything that I have drawn out here is just placements. It's a POI, right? It's a point of interest, right? So on US 30 we could see two things happening, right? We see a fair value gap, which is this line down here, right? And we also see that, okay, maybe this is gonna do, like I said, a type 1 pattern where we're going to consolidate, break out of the consolidation, right? Stop hunt high, right? Stop hunt low, hit the Mayo, right? Get a double bottom to then continue to push to the top side. Can we see that being displayed here right now? Potentially, right? And there's a few other things, right? Again, we could do the same thing, the same. I didn't get caught. I think I said this earlier in the stream, right? But the same thing as Bitcoin, where we could see price gave us is giving us a flag post pattern, right? The only thing here with the flag post is we already disrespected 23.6, but we are respecting 38.2. Cheers, Grand Rising, Great Rising, my brother. Good morning. I'm in the Discord, by the way. If you want to join up, I'll be streaming for like another 30 minutes. If you want to join up later, like 7 a.m. I don't think there'll be any trades for me today, so I'm gonna well, we'll talk about that later. But if you're free, join the Join the court. Um, so yeah, so US 30, right? I could see these two things playing out, right? The fact that we have a fair value gap in the same spot that we have the 200 EMA, in the same spot that we have the 38.2 retracement, right? And it looks like we're getting that type 1 pattern, right? Those are four different rules, right? Four different strategies that we could use to be like, okay, is price gonna continue to go down, or are we really gonna go up, right? And right now we have four different rules telling us, hey, price is gonna go up. So now it's just about waiting for price to get into our point of interest and then executing, right? So then here on the 1 hour time frame, right, also just using the Fibonacci, right? What can I see? Obviously we know that in the 30-minute zone, we know that we're trading between this 30-minute low and this 30-minute high, right? So the last confluence that I have here that makes me believe, okay, maybe these candles, these green candles pushing up, again, we understand those are called imbalances, right? So the two confluences I have that tell me, okay, this could be a potential just price pushing down today is price could either do it could reach the 30-minute low, right? And price could bounce off the 30-minute low. B, we have a 1 hour engulfing pattern down here, right? And C, a retracement, a Fibonacci retracement to the 78.6, right? And we have the low of the ADR down here. So while yes, we have confluences telling us that price is gonna go up, we also have a lot of confluence telling us, hey, price might go down, right? And again, let's clear this up, because I know it's a lot of rules, guys. That's why yesterday in the In the market breakdown, we were saying, yo, make sure you guys have a notepad out. Make sure you guys take notes. Because I guarantee you right now, if I tell you to explain to me the 8 strategies that I just used, you're not going to remember not even 2 of them. You're not going to know what a type 1, type 2, or type 3 pattern is, even though I've drawn it out on the screen 7 different times already. Just think about that. So make sure you guys are taking notes. So to go back, right? We know that we have a change of character here to the top side, because at one point we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, higher high, right? The fact that we have a change of character, is a change of character a definite, hey, price is gonna continue to push up? No. Remember that for price to turn around completely, you need to get a change of character and a break of structure, right? So for us to say, no, this is 100% gonna go to 38.2, go into the FVG, and start and do a type 1 pattern to continue that push to the top side, it'll be very delusional of us to say that we could see that 100%, right? Because understanding that we know all these rules, right, we could see that, okay, yes, we have a change of character, but what happened with that change of character? Was it a real change of character, or was it a test, right? And if you add a line, you could see that this change of character, the quote unquote this change of character, is not a real change of character. Why? Because all of these candles never broke above the zone. They were just testing. So the fact that we were testing these candles and it was never a real change of character, this could be used as an inducement, right? This could be a fake change of character, right, to induce people into thinking that this is gonna make price continue the push to the top side, but then really go down, right? I could see that. And the reason we could see that is because on top of the fact that we have these confluences telling us that we're gonna go up, we also have strong confluences at the bottom side. We have imbalance candles, we have order blocks, we have engulfing candles, we have the 30-minute low, right? We have the 4-hour high that was just tested. So there's so many rules right now, and there's so many traders being hit that is just not safe for us to even try to get in a position before we get some type of confluence, before we get into our point of interest. GJ, please, I got you. I did GJ earlier, but we'll go over it. That's why I have it off. But GJ is simple, right? We could keep GJ simple and literally just be like, Forex one-on-one. We're in a zone of consolidation, right? Where price is just moving sideways, and we're either looking for price to break below, retest, and continue going to the bottom side, or we're looking for price to do the same shit it did here for the previous week. It tested it once, tested it twice, right? It tested it once and pushed up. Tested it twice, pushed up into the zone. This morning, right, during Asia session, it pushed back down to the low, gave us a double bottom, and pushed back up to the top of the zone. And from the top of the zone, it went right back to the bottom. So, again, GJ is in a spot where the only valid trade we have is break of the lows, retest to continue going to the bottom side. Or we wait for, obviously, the same shit that it's been doing here. Is this red candle that's on right now, right? This 30-minute candle, is it going to break below the zone? If it breaks below the zone, did it give us a real break or did it retest? Did it do what happened here where it had a candle closure below, but then it went up and it closed above and it gave us a wick? That could happen. But right now, GJ is way too early, right? There's no, if you enter now, you're too early and you're too late, right? Because if you wanted to look for an entry to go short on GJ, your position should have happened either here on this retest or it should have happened somewhere up here, right? And if you're looking for, oh, I'm gonna miss a trade here going short, you already missed it, right? Like, you, at this point at 8:30 in the morning on GJ, the move already happened, right? Like, you're too late. You're not, you know what I mean? That's just the way this pair is. So there's really nothing here for me at all. There's no engulfing candles. Yesterday we had the inducement, the same thing that we saw on US 30, right? Which we had lower low, high, lower low, change of character, higher low, high, and then we start making lower low, lower high, low, higher high. You know what I mean? Like, it's just consolidating. There's no infinite, or there's no definitive answer to where GJ wants to go right now. Right? We have no weekly continuations, we have no daily continuations, right? We're just assuming what price wants to do right now. So until we don't get out of this zone, I don't have a good answer as to where price wants to go, right? The only other thing I could say is just look at the fibs again, right? We had this break which gave us this low. We know that we're trading between this low and this high, right? And what are we doing, right? Again, this is a flag post pattern, right? Price pushes up like crazy and then stays in the consolidation between 23.6, right? So the fact that we've been respecting these 23.6, these lows for so long, right? It could be used as, it could be looked at as a little weak zone, right? So the one thing I'll tell you to keep an eye on is look at the 4-hour zone, right? You have a green red candle going down, right? If this red candle turns into an engulfing candle where it closes below this green candle, then we know price is going to continue that push to the bottom side. But you have to look at that in the 4-hour time frame. So pretty much GJ, I wouldn't even be looking at GJ until this 4-hour candle closes. So in 2 hours and a half. Where you from? Florida. I am in Florida. Thank you, man. Of course, no problem, my brother. But that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, there's all the pairs, again, all the 10 pairs that we look at, right? Again, I will go over them: AU, CHF, JPY, Euro CAD, Euro USD, GJ, GU, US30, USD CAD, Gold, Bitcoin, right? Those 10 pairs that we look at, they all started the move already. They all did their ADR for the day, they did their STP, and if they haven't done STP, they're almost there, or they already started the move, right? So we missed the entry for those already, right? The ones that you see that we still have on, which is these four: US30, USD CAD, Gold, Bitcoin. Again, we'll go over it, right? US30, again, STP is 203. We've already done 120. So yes, STP hasn't been hit yet, but the move that we were looking for and the move that we are expecting to happen is just, it already started the move, right? We have no positions down here to look into. The only thing is, again, now we could take a look at what's price doing. It's reaching our first point of interest, right? At this point, where the next question and what we should be questioning is, okay, we're reaching a point of interest. We see that price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. The next thing I want to start looking at is price giving me a change of character to go back up to the top side? Or is price continuing the lower lows and lower highs and the lower lows and the lower highs? Right? So again, US30, we gotta wait it out, and it's already 6:30, so I'm pretty sure we won't get any moves till NYC. USD CAD is pretty much in the same boat, right? With now with STP, but just where we're at in the pattern, right? We're in the middle of a 30-minute high and the 30-minute low. Yes, we reached the 4-hour engulfing candle. So regardless, if this were to go down, that'd be trading counter, and that's not what I'm here to do, right? And then we're also in the same position as US30 with the zone of consolidation. We know that we're pretty much trading between these zones here, right? We had this low to go back to, we're still trading, right? We're still seeing low, high, higher low, higher high, but then we have low, higher high, higher low, right? We can see that this is where this little zone of consolidation starts forming, when we start seeing these crazy wicks to the bottom, crazy wicks to the top, and price is not giving us a solid higher high, higher low the entire time, right? So we're going right back to the top of this zone. Could we expect price to go from the top to the bottom? Absolutely, right? Or the same thing that we were saying about GJ, which is just the easiest trade for us. The easiest thing for us to do is to wait for price to get out of here. What do I mean by that? We're, for the sake of the fact that we're trading going up on this, that we're going long, I'm just going to show off the long, right? I wouldn't get in a trade here. I'll wait until we break out of the zone, have a retest, and this is where I'll get in to continue that push to the top side. I won't get in here in the middle. I won't get in on a long up here. I'm only getting in on long when we go back down to the bottoms, or when we break above our zone to continue the push. They're the only two ways I'll get in a trade on US CAD. So USD CAD will turn off. Right, gold, as you can see, we have this marked already: lower low, lower high, lower low. We're waiting to see what price wants to do. We have a 4-hour engulfing candle up here. does price want to go up and retest here before we start to push down? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting price to do. If not, then it'd be the same situation, right? I'm looking for price to break the low of the day to continue that push. And then Bitcoin is pretty much, I'm looking at Bitcoin and US30 the same way right now. Wanting to see what Bitcoin wants to do, right? Is it going to be the same thing with the Fibonacci, right? Is it going to respect the 23.6 retracement to continue to push up? Is it going to give us, a type 2 pattern where we're consolidating, we break out of it, we retest, and we continue to push down, push 1, push 2, push 3? So many things could happen right now. But right now, what looks like is the probable thing to happen with Bitcoin is that 23.6 retracement for price to continue that push to the top side. But again, we have to wait. There's no other way to put it. We have to wait. Gold, yeah, same shit. Lower low, lower high, lower low. I am expecting price to go down, but the only two valid point of interest for me to look into a trade is going to be either up here or the break of these lows, right? You could argue, oh, but what about these lows here, right? We could argue that you could get a trade down here, right? Which would be if price breaks down here, we get a retest for price to go down here, right? We could argue that, but I just don't like, I don't like these middle zones, right? Because we know that we had this low, this high, this higher low, right? And then this is where we had that break. So we know that we're trading between this high and this low. So a real break, like a real break that really tells us that price is going to continue to go down like this, is going to be this breakdown here. But understanding that you could get a trade down here, but your TP, your number one TP should be the low here. It shouldn't be down here until we get this break. And if you get this break, then you could get another entry from down here to down here. So, or we'll obviously get price to break up, retest, and continue that push to the top side. But we got to be patient. Today there's it looks like there's really not going to be any trades till NYC session. Remember, there's no news today. The only news that there is today is that trade balance that we talked about. Understanding that the market has been moving super crazy these last, well, pretty much since December, we know that there's going to be a market correction that's going to happen. So we just have to wait for that to happen. But that's pretty much it again for me here, guys. A lot was talked about, a lot was showcased, a lot of gems. But again, just another one of those days as a trader where we have to be disciplined and we have to wait for our rules, right? We have to wait for our setup, right? And I think that's the biggest thing that traders kind of miss on is, they always preach, oh, stay disciplined, but then you see them on the charts taking trades every single day with different setups, right? Like, that's what we're trying to showcase here, right? It's, you don't need to trade every day. You just need to make sure that the setups that you take are high probability trades and that they pay out. And that's all it is, guys. All right, I'm not gonna risk. I'll give you guys an example, right? And then we could end it there. The fact of the matter is, I'm not gonna be risking, 40 pips to only catch 10, 15 pips. It just doesn't make sense, right? If we go into every other 10 pairs and we go look at the last 2 months and the stats, you guys will see our stop loss is no bigger than 20 pips, and that's a lot. We usually don't do more than 15, 10 pips of a stop loss. And our profits, our TPs, you can see STPs 152 pips. So we catch those. So like I said, we just gotta be patient. Is one of those days, and it looks like it's gonna be one of those weeks where we have no news, right? No high impact news. It's gonna be a very slow week. And then also understanding that on Monday we have a bank holiday in the States as well. So knowing that that's gonna come up as well, we already know that volume is either gonna kick in on Friday or it's gonna kick in on Tuesday. And we should check Friday real quick. Do we have any news on Friday at all? Oh, on Thursday, perfect. Thursday and Friday. So there we go, guys. So bank holiday on Monday. And then come back on Tuesday, we have CAD news and then one small USD news. So Like I said, guys, we just gotta be patient. There's really nothing else that we could do here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a headache. I had to fucking take my hair off a bun already. But yeah, man, I've been fucked, man. I've been still with the same lingering symptoms that I had from the beginning of December. So I'm just fucking tired, man. I've been up since 3 in the morning. Again, I don't want to give you guys too much information. It's kind of disgusting, but been up at yeah, been up since 3 in the morning. Got on the computer like literally as soon as I turned the stream on is when I got on the computer. So I'm exhausted, bro. For real, for real. This shit sucks. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. But nothing, guys. We gotta keep pushing through. Right? It's Tuesday again. It's Tuesday. We're in the beginning of the week. Right? It's Tuesday, right? I'm not bugging. Yeah. We just started the week. Um. So again, we're not really expecting too much out of the market. Right now, coming on when we saw that there's high impact news Thursday and Friday, we already see okay. We can see why price is moving the way it's moving. Right? It's moving super early, as we can see here with gold. If the price isn't moved in Asia, they move it during London, and then they give us another crazy move during NYC, right? But during NYC, it slows down a little bit, but it's all right. Right? Again, we're looking at what we know we could secure 100% of the time, so that's what we're looking for. So we'll take another look real quick at these three pairs. US 30 is reaching our first point of interest. So US 30 is the closest one right now to our POI for the day. But yeah, guys, if you guys don't have any other questions, um, if you guys want me to go over another pair, something that I haven't looked over, any of the pairs that you see here on the screen, literally any of them, I could go over them. Or anything you guys want me to explain again, let me know, and we could definitely do that. And that's the thing, right? When you also know different correlation between pairs, right? Notice how USD CAD and US 30 they move a little bit different, right? When USD CAD is trending up, US 30 is trending down, right? And vice versa. So with that being said, you know, is there some sort of similarities to them? Of course, right? And it's kind of the same thing with USDs are, right? Similar. When USDs is pushing up, you could expect US 30 to be pushing down, and vice versa. So, also using the confluence of different pairs and how they correlate, also makes me a little bit more comfortable in not getting in this position super super early. For example, USD CAD, right? If we didn't know any better, right? If we didn't know any other rules, we're seeing price reaching a 4-hour engulfing candle. Oh, we're getting in right now. We're getting in right now, right? But that would be wrong, right? Because just look at structure. Like, yes, price gave you a double top here, push down. Looks like it's gonna come up and retest the double top, and it's a coincidence that the double top is the retest of the 4-hour engulfing candle. It's not a coincidence. That's how the market structure looks when you go from a higher time frame to a lower time frame. With that being said, again, understanding that we're trapped in between this zone of consolidation, understanding what a zone of consolidation is. It's a place where the market is gonna take traders out. Is hitting everybody's stop loss. Just look at it. Look at these crazy wicks happening. At the top is giving you a fucking crazy wick going to the top side, hitting everybody's stop loss. At one point when everybody thought, oh, this is the top because look, it retested, it didn't give us a real break, it tested and then started trending down. Oh shit, we got in, and then boom, it hits your stop loss and then goes tumbling down. Same thing down here. Oh, it failed to break these lows. We get in these long positions, and then what happens is red candle, boom, spikes down, takes everybody out, right? Makes everybody believe that at one point this is the red candle is gonna be a BOS. So then everybody who got in shorts down here, look what happened, right out of the game again. And then did the same shit up here with this wick, the same thing that's gonna happen here in the middle of the zone, right? It's making everybody believe that this is where price is gonna turn around. This is gonna be the retest for the price to go down, right? But the fact that US 30 is still going down with high volume makes me still believe that USD CAD is not ready, right? None of the pairs, right? US 30 is just not ready to go up yet, right? USD CAD is not ready, right? So we'll have to again, we'll just have to wait and see. Again, USD CAD is a pair where either way we're looking for price to trend up, not down. I'm not looking to trade counter. So regardless, for me to look for a position on USD CAD, I need to see price break above this our 30-minute zone to continue the push to the top side, right? And then US 30, right? Again, US 30 is a little bit different because overall market structure is a little wobbly, but when we're looking at structure, we're looking for points of interest, right? And again, right now price is reaching 2 of our POIs, so it's just about being patient and waiting for the right opportunity. And again, same description goes for all the other pairs. They're all doing this. Literally, all the pairs, all of them are doing the same thing. They're either in the middle of a zone, or we're waiting to see whether they want to break out of a zone. But again, guys, that's pretty much it for me, man. Not too bad of a stream, but it's just, again, just like yesterday, where these positions aren't for us, right? They're not meant for us to take right now. Again, at least for me, I'm not in a comfortable position in these pairs to look for an entry. We're just not, right? It's getting in a trade here is just very technical, right? We have to be looking at every single candlestick. We have to be looking at market structure, right? Exactly how we broke down US 30, where we have 2 different confluences, right? Where we could literally pinpoint exactly where price is gonna go to. I don't like trading like that, right? I always say it, right? I like trading when the move already started. Why? Because it's easier to catch the next bus than it is to chase the one that you already missed, right? I just rather trade knowing 100% what's gonna happen, right? Because again, and I'll break it down again, the train of thought, understanding that right now this could either be, we'll keep it in simple terms, right? This could either be a 38.6 retracement or a 78.6, 78.9, whatever the bottom number is. We'll do it again, right? 78.6. This could either be a 38.2 retracement or a 78.6. So what does that mean? Regardless, we could still see price on US 30 going up, right? Overall. But when we're looking as day traders, right? And again, I'm a little bit different, right? We do it a little bit different here. We don't trade counter of the overall trend. So even if price is pushing down on US 30 right now, I'm not going to be looking for those positions. I'm going to be looking for the positions that I know is going to happen 100% of the time, which is going to be those moves with the overall trend, right? So with that being said, the fact that I'm not in a position where we could see, okay, price is definitely doing this, right? We're in a spot where at this point, price swept the high and gave us a change of character, and then right after is doing this type of pattern, right? It just doesn't make sense to feel anxious to get into this trade. We shouldn't feel, as traders, you should never feel, oh, I'm missing out, because you're not, right? Because technically speaking, the number one question you should ask yourself before you enter a trade, you open up your trading journal, right? And you look at what are your steps before you enter a trade. Is US 30 displaying those type of behaviors? If yes, then you take the trade, right? If it is displaying your rules in your trading journal and you don't take the trade and you miss the trade, that is a mistrade. Absolutely, you could be upset at that. Why didn't you take the trade, right? Now, if US 30 is not displaying any type of behavior that tells me that this is a good position, why should I feel like, oh, I'm missing out, regardless of how or where it's moving? If US 30, just to give you an example, right? If I'm looking for price to go up on US 30 or any pair, right? And it's making lower lows and lower highs, and then all of a sudden it gives me a 30 pip green candle to the top side and continues to push to the top side. Are you going to feel like you missed that trade? I wouldn't. Because how, as a trader, right, as a human, how do you know price if there's no confluence, right? We're talking about there was zero reason in again, using your trading journal, using your trading rules, something you've been doing for since you started trading, right? There was not one single rule that told you, hey, this is ready to go up. You shouldn't feel like you missed out. You wait for the next opportunity. That's what it is as a trader. You have to stay disciplined. You have to follow your rules, because the day that you decide to not be disciplined, the day you decide to say, fuck it, I'm getting in this trade because I don't want to keep missing trades, is the day you're going to lose. I guarantee you that. So make sure you guys stay disciplined. Make sure you guys continue to look at your rules, right? Don't let the pressure from the outside world, right? Social media, that's the whole thing. Everybody feels like they need to do better than the next person. Like, if you're a trader or just anybody, bro, this is a rule in life, yo. If you go out looking at other people and other people's success and then you start measuring what you're doing, you'll never be satisfied with your work. Never. Because you're not the same as anybody. Nobody is the same. As much as people want to tell you, like, oh, if you could do it, I could do it. It's true to a certain extent. It's true to a certain extent. Anyway, keep yapping here, right? Say this again one last time before we turn the stream off. It was good. We've been streaming here for an hour and a half. Obviously not the longest stream, right? Again, I said this before the year started. I wanted to put the pressure on myself to stream every day, regardless of the markets, right? If you guys have been following us since we started streaming, whether on my channel or on the Vice Trading channel, especially if you guys watch me, you know me. I'm very disciplined. If I don't like how the markets look, I'm not gonna force a trade, right? I would rather pretty much what we did in December, right? A little bit different because I was sick. I still am sick, but I'm feeling better. December was a little bit different because I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able to hop on my PC. I wasn't able to do anything. I was in bed, hurting. Um, but then the end of the month started feeling a little bit better. We took 2 trades, and those 2 trades literally were like if we would have been trading all year, right? So, and that's because if we wait for the high probability trades, we wait for the trades that we know are going to play out, and we catch those pips, right? And then not only do we catch those pips, but we have such good pinpoint entries that we know that, okay, if we're risking 7 pips, instead of getting in with just a standard dollar lot, we know that we could get in with $2, right? Because the max amount of pips I'm willing to risk is 20 pips, right? So 20 pips is max of what I want to risk. So with that being said, again, if you guys have any other pairs, you guys want me to go over, any questions, anything you guys want me to explain again, let me know. If not, we'll call it here. I'll wait till 7 a.m. I'll give this another 7 minutes. We'll wait for that 7 a.m. candle to open, and then we'll go on from there. Right, US 30, we can see that right now it is reaching our 2 points of interest, right? Well, 3, right? Which is the 200 EMA, right? Which would be the stop punt low hit the mayo, right? We're looking for the 38.2 retracement, right? For this to be a flag post pattern, a valid flag post pattern, right? And the third confirmation is the fair value gap, right? So right now we have 5 minutes for this 30-minute candle to open to close. Really depending on how this continues to look, and also if we want to start going into a lower time frame, right? We should start seeing price give us a change of character, right? If we could get a change of character, if we could get some sort of engulfing candle, right, that would also be very ideal. At this point, again, there's really nothing here that tells me price is going to either continue to push down or continue to push to the top side. It's just more about market structure, right? Just market structure and waiting to see what price wants to do. So we'll see. We got 4 minutes left. If you guys haven't already, please like the stream, subscribe. It's free. Make sure you guys join the our Discord. The chat is in, or the link is in the chat. Free Discord. You have access to request a private one-on-one session for free. We do our 7 p.m. Market breakdown session every Monday through Thursday, and on Sunday we do our weekly breakdown at 11 a.m. The Monday through Thursday class is 7 p.m. and then we also do obviously these live trading sessions in the morning, right? Sometimes they could start earlier, but usually they start around at 6 a.m. right? So that's the time that I want to start my streams for this entire year, right? I want to keep that schedule with those 6 a.m. streams. So 6 a.m. is when we start. 11:30 is the latest I'll be on the stream. That's when I stop looking at my charts. But obviously on days where we don't have any trades, whether that's because ADR was already hit earlier, or the move already started making the move, or it's just we're not in a place to look for a trade, on those days it'll be like days like today, days like yesterday, where I'll be streaming until I have nothing else to say. So that could be an hour, 2 hours, could be 30 minutes. It just really depends. But make sure you guys join the Discord, stay active, stay updated. Again, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's keep waiting this candle out, right? We reached 2 of our points of interest, which is again the 200 EMA and the 38.2 retracement. We're wicking the fair value gap entrance right now, so again, we just want to see in a lower time frame. After this 30-minute candle closes, I want to see how price reacts in the 1-minute time frame, right? I want to see, is price still giving us the internal lower lows and lower highs? Are we getting a change of character? Are we getting an engulfing candle? Whatever the case is, I want to see something here that tells me that what price wants to do for the rest of the day. And again, 203 is STP for US 30. So if price decides to continue to go down to 203, we could see that the price giving us a pullback to the 50% retracement, right? And the 50% retracement is another possible point of interest for us, right? So regardless, that point of interest, which would be the same, the thought process that I have for this is just I don't like trading in the middle of the zone, and we can see that in the 4-hour zone we are trading between the low and the high, right? So again, just the fact that we are in the middle of the zone makes me believe that this is just where price is going to trap traders, right? Making everybody believe what they want to believe, right? The people who are looking for price to go up, they're going to give you confirmations and fake you out, and then vice versa for the people going short. They're going to give you confirmations that, hey, price is going to go down, but then they're going to spike you out, wick you out, the same way they've been doing every single time we get in the middle of the zone. Every single time we get in the middle of the zone. takes you out with the wick to the top side, and then takes you out with the wick to the bottom side, and then just continues to do that every single time. Gold and Bitcoin still in the same spot. Right, again, Bitcoin is pretty much the same situation as US30, just looks a little bit different. Sorry, just had to ban that fucking idiot from the chat. So yeah, we got 20 seconds here left for this 30-minute candle to close. We'll take a look at it again. Boom, 30-minute candle opened. Right, strong red candle down to the fair value gap. Missed it by a few pips again. We'll continue to look at it. That's funny. Alright, so here we go. US30, right? Reach our fair value gap. Right? Can we see what price is doing? It's just accelerating, right? It's an accelerated red candle. Again, there's no reason for us to feel anxious about getting in a trade like this at all, right? At all. Right? Because again, we understand the possibilities, right? We understand the probabilities. We understand, okay, why is price acting this type of way? What can we see, right? What type of behavior can we see the market doing? Right? There's so many little things to just continue to look at when you're looking in the market. You know, that gives you a slight edge. And you know, there's so many rules like that. There's so many, right? There's not, you know, I'm not here stating that this is the best one, right? Or that we teach the best one. I'm not gonna state that, right? Well, first of all, we'll let the results speak on its own. Um, you know, as a beginner trader or beginner streamer in the trading world, something I said I wanted to start doing this year was to keep track in my yearly record. You know, so something that you guys will see as an update in this stream, instead of seeing monthly wins and losses, I'm just gonna turn that into overall 2024 trades, and you guys will see it. How many wins, how many losses. You know, if I have to add a break even, which I don't really take break even trades because I rarely put a trailing stop in a break even trade. But if we had to add that, we'll put it in a sheet or we'll put it here on the stream on the screen somewhere. Um, so okay, we can see price started to slow down a little bit, right? We reached the FEG zone, tapped into it, started trailing away. So I do want to start going into these lower time frames and start looking at, okay, the first thing is, do we have an engulfing candle, right? Can we see an engulfing candle being formed? And then also structure, right? How is price looking? Right now we still have lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. So we're gonna keep this in the 1 minute time frame, definitely in the 1 minute time frame, and we're just gonna continue to look at it. Right? Could you get in a position here, an aggressive position? Yeah, there's always aggressive entries. But for me, an aggressive entry, I would only take an aggressive entry in a point of interest that only has confluence going to the direction that we want price to go to, if that makes any sense, right? And usually that's a 30-minute zone, or a you know, it's either a 30-minute zone that's correlating with the daily and the 4 hour zone, or it's a golden zone, right, which is an engulfing candle, which normally is on the 30-minute time frame, right? Yes, you could get those pinpoint entries on the 4 hour, the daily engulfing, and the 1 hour engulfing, but it also just depends on where those candles are in the pattern. So I'll give you an example real quick, even here on US 30, right? US 30, we know that we have an engulfing zone down here, right? And we also know that this engulfing zone correlates with the 30-minute zone, the 78.6 retracement, and the 800 EMA, right? We also know that it correlates with the last red candle that was made before the push up that made the break, right? So if price were to continue to trend up on US 30, right, at the point that when price gets down here, this is what we want to start looking for. We want to look for an entry to be pinpoint entry, right? A wick entry, right? Obviously US 30, I'm just using the example if US 30 was in a complete uptrend, which right now US 30 we just have no clue, right now it's in the same position as gold. We have, it's not that we have no clue, but we have an assumption of what price wants to do, right, because of how much price has been moving, right? And again, we're talking about gold and US 30, which are, you know, indexes, the metals, which are highly manipulated, especially, you know, when there's war going on. So, you know, I don't want to get too political because we're not sure how much we could say here on the YouTube. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, right? Waiting to see what price wants to do. Right, that high is not a higher high. It was an equal high. It's the same high as this one here. Right, so it's still nothing. Right, and we'll look at USD CAD as well and USD ZAR. Right, USD CAD, we're still in our 4-hour engulfing zone. Could price turn around and start going down? It could. But again, we're in a spot where this is where the market makers are going to trap traders, right? So we don't want to be a part of that. So again, is what I was saying earlier, right? It's, I would rather wait. If you always look at my streams, right, you'll see that I always wait for the first move to happen, right? It isn't until that first move that's happened. For example, what would we be expecting on gold, right? Until I don't see price either give me a break of the lows or give us a retest back to the top of our zone, you won't see me trading here in the middle. Right? Same thing for Bitcoin, same thing for US 30, same thing for all these other pairs. Right? For me to get in on a trade on US 30 right now, especially for a long, I have to see something super clear, right? I have to see something like this, where we're bottoming out, where we have all these wicks, price came down, sweep the lows, gave us another wick to the bottom, came up, gave us another wick with a candle closure above. This was that trade, right? We know how price is going to react, but down here, there's really none of that. We don't have any sweeps, we don't have any engulfings, we don't have any, we just have point of interest, right? We have points where we know price is going to want to start turning around. But now the question is, okay, right? Like, how many people are trading fair value gaps, right? How many people are trading imbalances? How many people are trading 38.2 retracements, right? Wouldn't it be the sweep again that we were talking about? Wouldn't it be smart for the market makers to make everybody believe that this is a real change of character for us to get a real pullback to continue that push to the top side? That would be the most ideal position ever. How many people do you think are in, as a matter of fact? As a matter of fact, give me 1 second, guys. Huh. It's crazy. So I don't think US 30 isn't here, but we could see USD ZAR. So we'll see USD ZAR. So USD ZAR, there's 72% of people, right, are going short on USD ZAR. Right. With that being said, 72% of the people on ZAR are going short. Remember, ZAR is the same, pretty much looks the same as USD CAD, right? So we'll look at things a little bit backwards here, right? So the fact that 72% of the people that think ZAR is going to go down, right, we could say that, knowing the correlation between the pairs, right, we'll say the same amount of people are in these trades on US 30 going long, right? So 72% of the people are taking this position right here. Again, I marked all of these out on my chart so you guys could have an understanding of what type of trades we're trying to take, right? So again, the fair value gaps, all of this are not my trades. They're not my positions to take, but I know them. I know how they work. I know how they're used to be to how they're used to manipulate traders, right? So here we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Cool. So we got a little internal change of character. All right, we had price test, 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 push up to the top. See USD CAD, right, going into the engulfing, right, and it started pushing down. Now we have 17 minutes, right? What do I want to see? I want to see an engulfing red candle, right? I want to have another confirmation. But again, USD CAD is trending counter, so I will not be taking this trade. I'm just marking it up, right, to have an understanding as to, okay, this is why this is happening, and it's alright. We'll let it go. right? US 30 is on the same thing, right? We marked it up. Oh shit, what happened? Right, we marked it up. We put our points of interest down, but we understand, okay, we're letting the market move. We want to move with the trend, not counter. Right, and then gold and Bitcoin are again the last ones. Bitcoin again, beautiful. Right, 23.6 retracement, bottom of the zone, waiting to see what price wants to do. And then yeah, gold, same thing. Waiting to see what price wants to do. Doesn't want to trend down, doesn't want to trend up. We're in the middle, as you can see again, we're in the middle of the zone. So right now we have there's nothing for us here. There's nothing telling us that price wants to go in a certain way. We have no clue right now. Right, GJ is still stuck in the bottom of the zone. GU is waiting to see. It looks the same as US 30 right now, right? Consolidation, breakout, push 1, push 2, push 3, bottomed out. 200 EMAs, what we would want to see on GU, right? Level 2 rise would make sense, but it's just about, we have 4 days of rise, right? How many more days of rise could we get? Is this really going to be the pullback for us to continue making higher highs, higher lows? As you can see, yes, technically, with the candle closures, we made a higher high, but we'll say higher high, higher low, high to see what this wants to do. Does this want to give us a higher low here to continue to push up to the top side? Or does it want to continue that trend down to the bottom? Right, Euro USD, exactly what we talked about. Right, it's like, okay, yeah, we have our first point of interest here, but we also have these points of interest down here. Right, we broke above, little retest, we're right back here. Now we're testing these lows here. EuroCAD, same thing. CHF JPY still moving counter, and AU still here at the bottom. So what the fuck was that? Shit. My head hurts. Looking good, guys. Looking good. We sang about EuroCAD. So, remember we were saying about EuroCAD a little bit earlier, right? We were expecting price, wanting the price to retest off the 800, right? Decided to go down, right? Gave us a new low, right? Stayed within the same parameters and started trending up. Right, so the next point of interest on EuroCAD, I'm going to start marking this up in the 5-minute time frame. I want to see a break of these highs. All right, we got a nice little internal change of character, right? Price respecting these lows. I want to see price break above. Give me 1 second. Let's look at this real quick. Yep, same as last week. No engulfing, but we do have nice market structure. Four minutes for this 15-minute candle to close. Still waiting for that the internal break of the high. So being patient again, guys. You guys see why we don't get in these positions early? Right? It's understanding this too, right? We go from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, right? The fact that we were like, okay, we got a change of character, but in the 1 minute time frame, we have the 800 EMA, right? Getting in these positions early and thinking, hey, we're gonna miss these trades, we're gonna miss these trades, man. Like, look, you guys are going to learn a lot about being disciplined. And again, there's just, again, for me, man, the way I'm looking at the market, the way I've been looking at the market since I first started trading, right? Just the fact that we're in the middle of the trend, right? We're in the middle of this 4 hour high and low. This is the initial trade, right? This move here is the initial trade that would be taken. Why? Lower low, lower high, right? Internal lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, right? Boom, higher high, boom, higher low. After the higher low was set, we had the wick candle above. We know that this is gonna make price turn away. Now the only thing here, there's two really big things here that I want to take into consideration. The fact that if these 2 days would have been clean 2 days of rise, we know that today we would have had that extra third push to the top side, right? But the fact that we had 2 days of no net, man, for me was like, okay, what's what I drew down here? I'm like, man, I really don't see why price would push up to give us a third push before closing this gap down here. Now, could it happen? Absolutely. That's why we're going to continue looking at the 5 minute time frame. We're going to continue looking at the 1 minute time frame. We're going to be looking for, a nice BOS. But we need to get that BOS first in the 1 minute time, in the 5 minute time frame. The change of character BOS, right? And then also, like I said, the 1 minute time frame holds weight because we have the 800 EMA in the exact same spot where the BOS would be at, right? So again, just got to be patient. We'll come back to it. I'll turn this on a little bit here, right? And I think EuroCAD was one of the ones too that hasn't done ADR. Yeah, it did 36 out of 60. So again, US 30 looking good. Just waiting it out, waiting to see what price wants to do. I don't know if like my bad guys, I'm back. I thought before I left I switched back over to Euro CAD. I'm like shit, yo, that's the fucking trade though. Well, we are still in the same spot with all these pairs, guys. So like I said, like Euro CAD was the last one really on the list, but we are seeing price still making lower lows and lower highs, especially in the lower time frame. So this might be it for me today, guys. I'm gonna be honest. You know, obviously, again, like we stated earlier, right? The moves we were looking for on these other pairs were already made overnight. So you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna take one more look at these other pairs real quick, and then I'll call it a day. GJ still literally picture perfect of what we've drawn out. GU perfect, right? Didn't give us an engulfing. At one point we were like, all right, maybe it can, right? But nope, didn't give us the engulfing. US 30 went to our FVG, but again, trading counter, I'm not really about it, but we did have the point of interest, right? USD CAD, same thing, trading counter, went into the engulfing, went down. Then gold and Bitcoin, right? Gold is in the same spot. Gold is pretty much like the last one for the day. Did gold do STP? I forgot. I don't think it did. Alright, not yet. And then Bitcoin's still in the same spot. So that's it for me today, guys. We're gonna call it a day. Not a bad day today, right? Definitely not a bad day. There's definitely good potential trades, especially Euro CAD. But again, for me personally, I would rather wait for the solid entry, right? The fact that we looks like this is gonna fail to break these lows, this could be the sweep of the zone for price to continue the push to the top side, right? But in the 1 minute, obviously, we are still trading. Nope, that high broke, gave us this low. This low broke, gave us this high. So could this be the sweep of the 1 minute zone for price to continue to push up? Looks like that could be it. So you know what, matter of fact, I'm gonna add a line here, and then we'll go over this in tonight's class. Alright. But alright, guys. See you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tonight again. Remember, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video or the stream. Tonight, 7 p.m., we'll be doing the market breakdown. And then tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we'll be live again. So hit you guys up later today. Peace out.